Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 195. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host.
I'm here all week. This is Mr. Dane Cody on the best video game podcast ever.
Fresh from his DJ training academy.
Waka, 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 waka.
Okay.
Gotta get that energy up.
Were those like your scratchy noises? Oh, mine aren't any better. Jesus Christ.
Waka, waka, waka.
Oh, wow. We're both fails. I'm not even going to attempt another one.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. Up? Thanks for witnessing that car crash of an intro.
Dude, that was an awesome intro. Bring in the energy. It's going to be a great show.
We get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, or whatever the hell we like.
Hell yeah.
Usually we start the show with the BS section, which we are currently knee-deep in. Then we get into some what you've been playing, our news and stuff, public service announcements, and free-for-all section. But before that, let's start with some housekeeping. Remember to join our Discord server to keep the podcast going throughout the week, joining our fun, colorful video game and nonsense-related talk chat. To join that on any web browser, bit.ly/gap Discord. Make sure to check out the welcome channel if you do that, because there might be a little surprise in there, aka free
Video
GC game
games.
if you take the time to read the instructions. Besides that, welcome everybody. Here we are, 195, a new day, new podcast.
And you're still here with us.
Yes.
That's a win this week.
You may or may not be aware, if you were part of the Discord chat this weekend, I got food poisoning or some kind of poisoning on the weekend. And
it's your wife. She's slowly trying to get rid of you.
have been was dead to the world for 3 days. It was bad, real bad. That was not fun. I honestly, in the height of it, I was literally just looking up to the sky and just kill me now, please. Just end it.
As you were praying to the porcelain gods.
It was so bad.
Just suck me in. Just take me.
I prayed to the porcelain gods. I'm number one porcelain god fan. It was bad.
That
Seriously.
sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the worst.
It was the worst. At
least you have multiple bathrooms in your house.
Yeah. I can't even think about food still. Food makes me want to... I get all nauseous.
Ooh.
Today is my first full day with 3 meals.
Okay.
In quotation
quote unquote
marks.
Meals. Yeah.
Just because I'm not eating as much, because I'm just honestly scared.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but
it's not funny. It was bad. I'm because I don't know what it was. I assume it was the buffet I had on the weekend. It's a high probability it was the buffet on the weekend, but I've eaten there a bunch of times. It's a good place.
It's never been a problem. Yeah.
No, so
Do you
I don't
eat
know.
Seafood? You never eat the seafood at the
No,
buffet,
I didn't
man.
get seafood. It was Indian cuisine.
Yeah.
It's really good. Butter chicken. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
It was fantastic, but I don't know if it was that, because...
Did you have some McDonald's earlier in the day or something?
No. I had that, and I had home dinner.
Cook. Oh.
That was my lunch because I worked, and
right.
Yeah, it was bad because I saw it all come back.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, that's not good.
Nacho chips, not good. That's like glass coming out your...
Yeah, that sucks.
It was not... Or at least maybe I need to chew better. I don't know.
That's the worst, too, because, you're... when you end up in a situation like that where you're, you don't have anything left in there, but your body is no, we're just going to sit here and we're going to just try and get everything out. And you're just there's nothing else in there.
I couldn't hold water down.
Oh, that sucks,
it was so bad. That's... You were just even getting rid of all the bile in your stomach. We're evacuating everything.
Yeah, that's the worst, man.
Sorry, everyone. It really, I was sore. My throat, my neck was sore. My abs were sore.
Worse than you at PAX bad then.
Oh, God. It's the worst I've ever had it. Because I've had food poisoning. I've had alcohol poisoning.
Right.
And, it's violent. and painful. So, yeah, that was...
Yeah.
I did have a couple days out of work. I squeezed a little bit of gaming in the little windows that I was not totally, like, a mess.
Right.
But, yeah, my wife's kind of, like, had it up to... Because I did nothing. I couldn't help with bath time or bedtime or nothing because I was, like, couch or bedridden.
Oh.
For, like, three nights.
That is rough.
And so tonight she's like, you're doing bedtime for the next 3 nights. And I'm like, yep, I understand.
Yep, that's fair.
I'm like, trust me, I would have rather been around to do bedtime the last couple nights
no doubt.
instead of what I went through.
Yeah, no kidding.
Do you have any wonderful stories to erase those visuals or thoughts from people's minds, maybe?
No, man. Honestly, my weekend was pretty chill. I played some video games.
Sweet.
And, I hung out. Like, it was pretty low key.
Dane.
Yo.
What you been playing? I see you beat Anthem.
Yeah, I finished the story. I finished the story in Anthem.
To be honest, I don't really want to talk about Anthem that much, so I don't know if you
that's too bad for
have
you.
a lot to add.
Screw you. I do what I want on the show. Ugh.
I just feel like we've talked it to death.
You know, it's funny. Anthem, I feel like it's a bit of a weird thing, actually. Like, I know I've been pretty negative on it because of the bugs and stuff like that. And I think that the story had some issues. I thought that the ending was kind of cool. I liked the post-credit scene. It was well done.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I mean, it was. I think they, obviously they had to do something like that to kind of keep everything going, if you will. But I thought it was okay. The end was kind of nonsensical.
Yeah,
like it was just kind of weird. Like you've been.
Your
like
typical
you'd seen
rushed
this
ending.
Yeah, like you'd seen this antagonist a few times throughout the game, but I didn't have that much of a anger or hatred towards, like, you know what I mean? Like,
and
it was
then
just like, and then all of a sudden, like,
escalation to end boss.
Totally.
It didn't feel deserved. It didn't build up to that point.
Yeah,
it's like a quarter of the game might have been missing.
Yeah, totally.
Or a third.
That's kind of how it felt a little bit.
About story development wise, absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, but that being said, I spent a lot of time walking around and talking to people in Fort Tarsis. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because I've really kind of, those stories and those characters I really grew to like.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
That aspect of the game I feel like is, everybody's kind of given this game like a really hard, it's not a BioWare game. It doesn't feel like one. It doesn't have the stories and blah, 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 blah. And, like, I totally don't disagree when we're talking about the main overarching story, like, kind of the game's purpose, if you will. Mm-hmm. But as far as, like, the characters and the development and the inter-characters and the interpersonal development that they have between people in the fort and you and that stuff, I thought that was all really interesting.
It was pretty good. You know what it was missing, though?
What's that?
That is the big BioWare ingredient to those characters and relationships, is the unique missions involving or from those people. Because those interactions were great, the stories were great, but then at best, it was some fetch quest or kill guy quest. There was nothing unique or memorable similar to, like...
But I'm not even talking about the people that gave you quests.
No, I know, like the other characters.
I'm talking about like a ton of the other characters.
Like the shopkeepers,
like the one lady who, like, she's, thinks that you might be her daughter, and they're like the guy that's all worried about safety and you and if you talk to him and you say the right things, like, you actually get to see some of the changes that happen because of those conversations, which I thought was cool. Like, just those conversations, like, there's no missions, there's no nothing out of them. Like the bartender, for example.
Yeah, the bartender was really intriguing, though. I can't even remember her name.
No, the guy, like, he's got a whole story quest where, like, he's kind of this like boy toy bartender dude, and yet like when you help him with a whole line of things, and like every time he's like, hey, what do you think I should do here? And you're like,
my bartender was a female.
There's two. There's the lady that owns the bar. And then there's the actual bartender around, like when you walk around the corner of the bar, like I can't remember his name, but he has like a whole, like, if you talk to him, he's got like a whole line of like, hey, what do you think about this? And if
I don't think I even talked to that guy once.
So like, that's what I mean, right? Like there's a ton of people to talk to, and I think that it would be very easy. Like, and that's the other thing, is I think that in that game, it's very easy to not talk to anybody. Like you don't have to, right?
Because you don't have to.
No, and like, and in all honesty, like there was one night.
They don't reward you for doing it.
That's the thing, though. They kind of do.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
So like that's kind of what I was saying. Like I think like a lot of, you know, like you do kind of have to sit down, and you have to. Like the one night I sat down, and I think I spent probably a half an hour or 45 minutes, and all I did was I just walked around Fort Tarsis, and I just talked to every single person until I had zero like talk bubbles above anybody's heads, and all I did was just like go around the whole fort and like talk to everybody and like learn about them and their story and what's going on. And now the crazy thing is like when I finish a mission, I come back to town, there's like almost always a new person to talk to. Well, like not a new person to talk to necessarily, but like a new conversation from one of those people. And like those are the really interesting stories that I thought they did a really good job with. But they're stories that they're a little bit like, you remember the first Destiny where a lot of the story stuff was in the like the codex and the cards and like all of that stuff. It's a little bit like that, but instead of like reading a codex, you're talking to a person.
Yeah, and they're giving you the story bits.
Yeah, but I thought that all of that stuff was like super interesting, and I don't think that it maybe gets nearly as much respect as I think it should. That'll like a lot of that stuff really stuck with me, and I really did like, I like a lot of those characters, and I actually want, it's funny, I kind of want to play more to find out what's going to happen with, you know, this idiot who was interested in a girl who was like married, for example, and you know, and you can tell him like, oh, you should go for it, or you should probably not because she's married, like, you know what I mean, like, and he's gonna do what you tell him and what happens from that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's interesting.
I think a lot of people didn't connect with it because we're so used to the Dragon Age, the BioWare formula of those interactions and moments coming from your party members. Right. But there's no party in this because it's a multiplayer game.
Sure.
So it's like it's not delivered the same way. So I see why people are like, oh, there's no stories, because when you're in multiplayer, you're chasing a bunch of idiots that are like, you know, ruining the pace of the mission because you can't control the pace of the mission on your own. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it may negatively affect your experience. And then there's really no story building because you're not really interacting with anyone during the missions. But yeah, you definitely do it. I did like the interactions, but I don't know, none of them were just like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like no character, I would say, compares to any character in any of the Mass Effects. But
yeah,
I mean, not the same BioWare. That's different. The other thing too, right?
Yeah, and I think it's such a different thing.
It's not fair.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's funny, you know, as I've, you know, I beat the game on the weekend, like on Sunday, and I've, you know, but I kept playing it for a bit. I'm gonna continue to probably like dive in and play here and there. I will say they've like the patches and stuff that they've released have really helped that game a lot already. I think that in like 6 months, it's probably going to be something pretty special.
I'll check back in 6 months, but to be honest, I have within now and the next major content drop, I have no desire to play it again. I beat it and I'm satisfied.
Yeah, and that's fair. And like with Devil May Cry 5 coming out
Division
on
2
Friday, and then Division 2 coming out the week
Destiny
after.
2 content.
Like, that is, you know, those two things right there are enough for me that I probably won't touch it. I'll probably skip Sekiro just because it's probably not my type of game, especially after reading some more of the previews
awesome.
And stuff for it. It just I just don't have that kind of time, and it's
I'll be all over that. It's been a while.
But yeah, no, I did enjoy it, and I think I will definitely.
It's a good game. if the issues don't drive you utterly batshit crazy.
And like I said, I think the technical issues they are doing a good job. They should have delayed
the game 6 months to a year.
I still think they should have delayed it 6 months, easy for sure.
6 months to a year. A year, this game would have came out and been a solid 8 if they got rid of a bunch of the issues and worked on a lot of the stuff, which they are going to change.
I liken this, I think, to like a popcorn movie. You know what I mean? Like I went in, I had a really good time with it. It was fun. It's not going to win any awards.
No.
But it's also like it's not the worst thing that I could play. Like you know what I mean? Some people are going to play it and they're going to hate it. They're going to be like, "Oh my god, this is awful."
Yeah, like if you get caught up and you want to do EA hating and go overboard with it, like it's easy to use this game as a, scapegoat to rile on BioWare and EA for whatever reason. But it's just a good game. It has issues.
Yeah. And I started after I beat the game, I started playing as some more of the other javelins. Like I was playing as the interceptor a bit after, and
they're so different.
It felt so cool. It felt a lot more. It's funny. It felt a lot more like Warframe.
I think that's what that one's going for. I don't like
a lot of fun though.
I like the Colossus though.
It's funny. I haven't actually unlocked the Colossus. That's the last one.
I know because you did it in the beta and you didn't like it.
I didn't like it in the beta, but that being said, now that I understand the game a lot more, I might enjoy it a lot more. The Ranger still to me is just very meh, whatever. I'll definitely play a bunch of the Interceptor, some more of the Interceptor though, because I was definitely enjoying that. I think it's really cool. No, I think I definitely, it's funny. Like I said, I've had a lot of technical issues with that game. But I still really enjoyed it. I finished my story run. I think I was sitting at 25 hours.
I think
when I finished.
I think Origin said 24 on mine.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It seems to be about between 23 and 25 seems to be kind of the average for people sort of finishing the story for their first run through or whatever, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with it. I honestly look forward to them releasing the updated content and stuff down in the next month and two here, and I'll definitely keep it installed and I'll definitely check back. That said, I'm kind of happy to have finished the story so I can kind of move on to Devil May Cry on Friday. Mm-hmm. I'll definitely be playing that this weekend.
Hearing some good things about that.
And previews and stuff or reviews and stuff have finally come out, so. That will be. I wish I could pre-install it, but I can't. So
I wish we could have something to say about that, but we're not cool enough for Capcom. Cool enough. So
I know.
If anyone out there works for Capcom, come on, man, hook a Rico up and a Dane too.
Be cool. Be cool.
I don't know. We just have no luck with Capcom. We're not cool enough for them.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting it because of my video card. So
yeah, but the reviews, the embargo went up, I think, today. But when we're recording this, and it's getting pretty stellar reviews. So
yeah,
that is cool. Speaking
I'm excited.
Of finishing games, Dane, I finished Far Cry New Dawn in my sick state.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the spelling mistake there.
New Dawn.
If anyone's wondering what I'm talking about, the outline, I totally spelled Dawn wrong. It's more Far Cry. It's maybe.
I heard it was shorter.
Yeah,
I heard it wasn't.
I thought it was the whole Far Cry 5 map redone, but it's not. Yeah. It's maybe half or 2/3.
Interesting.
Because it doesn't really have the eastern region.
Oh,
is kind of missing
with the haunted house and all that kind of stuff.
So yeah, it. Yeah. Anyway, I beat it. It was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Was the story better than Far Cry 5?
It's a continuation to 5.
Right.
You see what happens to some major characters in it.
Okay, fair enough.
You have an effect on the outcomes. You have some choices.
That's good.
I don't know if there's actually 2. There must be 2 endings because you can choose to do something to someone or not, right?
Right.
You can take a guess. It's a shooting game.
Yeah,
what that choice could possibly be.
Shoot them or not shoot them.
It was neat how they gave you some backstory to the villains and stuff. Was kind of neat.
Yeah,
and it wrapped up all right. It may have. I don't know, might have like concluded quite quickly, in my opinion, because I thought I had a lot more to go. And it's like, oh, we're doing this. So this is the end.
Oh shit.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really expecting to beat it. I fully upgraded my prosperity. Unlocked a lot of cool stuff. I didn't unlock everything because that's a lot of grinding.
Who's got the time?
Like I reset all the forts and stuff, so I can go back and do outposts over and over again.
Right.
Some of the expeditions, but I got my fill.
Cool.
If you need more Far Cry in your life, I highly recommend it.
Fair enough.
I assume that game's going to be pretty cheap soon. And then I was like, man, I finished a new game. I finished like 2 new games this year so far. I got to finish another new game. And I'm like, oh, I should go back and finish Resident Evil 2 because I'm an asshole and started that. And
yep, I'm in a similar boat.
So I beat Leon's campaign.
Nice.
And I'm 3/4 of the way through on Claire's campaign.
Okay. Awesome.
That game's pretty cool.
How are you finding like the difficulty on Claire's after?
It's supposed to be harder.
Yeah.
But I'm not scared of zombies, and I'm better at avoiding Mr. X or the Titan or whatever you want to call him.
Sure.
Nemesis. I don't know.
No, he's not technically a nemesis.
No. In Resident Evil 3, they call him Nemesis. But
it's because in Resident Evil 3, he is a nemesis.
Yeah.
They're different.
I guess it's the evolution of the tyrant virus.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Anyway.
He's a tyrant. And the dude's a nemesis.
So it's quite different. They changed some stuff, or I just really like Claire's campaign. They've added a bunch of shit that I don't remember being in the original game at all.
Right.
Like her campaign's quite different.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like there's whole sections and areas that I don't remember existing in RE2, but I played that game when it came out decades ago.
In
so
96 or whatever it was.
I've played hundreds of video games since then, so it could just be I just don't remember. But I swear a lot of stuff wasn't in there. I'm getting pretty good at popping zombies off. I'm not scared. I'm not getting terrified as much because I'm used to it now.
Right.
So it's not as scary once you get over, playing the first campaign and getting over being scared of Mr. X. It's not so bad, but fantastic game, fantastic remake. Some of the story elements though are a little like WTF. Like,
of course, man. I mean, come on. It was a freaking Resident Evil game from the mid '90s. I mean, you know.
But it's a cool game.
Right on.
So I did that in my 6 stupor. I'll probably be able to beat Claire's campaign in like another session, maximum.
Yeah,
2.
my understanding is they're not overly long.
Well,
right?
I beat Leon's in like, I can't remember what the game clock was. Maybe it was like 6 hours or 7 hours.
Yeah, I've heard between like 6 and 8 hours.
Right now, my game clock on Claire's, and like I said, I'm like 3/4 of the way through. It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
so significantly less. But I'm also not going in every nook and cranny because you don't have to.
Right.
So that helps. I kind of want to unlock like one of the unlimited bullet bonuses. Like if you beat the game in under so long and with a certain like ranking,
right,
you unlock like unlimited like knife that doesn't break or unlimited
pistol, there's like a bunch of different,
which would be kind of fun to just go around and just shoot everything with like not even have to think about picking up ammo and stuff.
So
yeah, I'll wrap that up, I'm sure, by the time next time we talk.
Cool.
Also, out of curiosity, I booted up my Red Dead Redemption 2 on Xbox
One X.
I don't know. Did we really talk about it? I bought it because I got it really cheap. Got it for $30.
You talked about it in Discord, but we didn't talk about it.
I didn't talk about it on the show. Yeah,
I called you an idiot, but
I haven't touched the PS4 version, and then someone was selling it on. I saw it on. We have a site called Used Victoria. I'm sure that it's a Canadian thing. It's like name a city used whatever.com, and it's like your online classifieds. I don't really think they're in the US because Craigslist is kind of their version of it.
Yeah, I was going to say
Craigslist,
like that's your version of Craigslist.
Yeah,
where
but Craigslist hasn't really ever taken off in Canada, or it's just more prone to scams.
It's taken off big in like where I live, but yeah. In the smaller cities, it definitely is not taken off.
Yeah, I found a bunch of people that were selling it like $50, $60, and I just threw out emails to a bunch of them like, will you take 30? Will you take 30? Will you take 30? And then one guy's like, I'll take 30 if you come pick it up. I'm like, done. So I went and picked it up, mint copy of, Red Dead 2.
Right.
So I installed it. It's noticeably visually better than the PlayStation version.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I didn't believe it. Like, I heard and I read.
Yeah, but it's a fairly substantial difference between the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro version.
If you guys are used to going from console to PC, it's like going from console to PC. But really, it's just going console to console.
Yeah.
Because it's much higher resolution. It has much better, textures. It's super sharp.
Yeah.
In the PS4 version, the close objects on screen are sharp, but then it gets, kind of muddy. Well, not muddy, but fuzzy. The anti-aliasing.
The anisotropic filtering is not super awesome.
Yeah, and then on the cutscene, I notice in the cutscenes and just anytime they're up close on the Xbox One version, I'm like, crap, this looks. Wow, it looks good on PS4. If I had not seen this, I would have not known any better.
Right.
But I was so curious because of the people that I've heard and read, especially the Digital Foundry stuff, and it's like, shit.
Yeah, I watched all the Digital Foundry stuff and saw the differences.
Crazy.
And they're fairly substantial. So
I might end up finishing it on Xbox and abandoning my game on PS4.
I was gonna say now the only problem is you're halfway through or whatever.
No,
on
I was
PS4 Pro.
I was the start of Chapter 3.
Right.
From what I hear, that game's gigantic, and I'm almost at Chapter 2 already on the Xbox.
Oh,
so
there you go.
It's and I think I was only taking so long because I was screwing around so much in the PS4. So I'm sure if I mainline it with the pretty graphics now, I might be able to beat it before the PC version comes out.
Yeah, at this point, I'm definitely over the hype of it coming out initially. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
If it comes out on PC, I maybe will pick it up just as a eye candy.
It's still
showcase.
a freaking awesome game.
Yeah.
Then I played some Division 2 beta a tiny bit. I got into where it really opens up and all the different mission types are available, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's funny. I loaded it up. I did a similar thing where I updated my previous beta version to the new beta version. And then I played the intro, got into the point where I realized, okay, this is exactly more or less the same as the previous beta. It runs better now, and it I think it looks a little bit better now.
It runs better than the last one. It ran really well.
Yeah. The last one ran fine, but I definitely noticed my frame rate was
spiking,
clearly higher on this one.
Mine was spiking a bit in the last beta, and this one it was smooth. Yeah,
it was much smoother. I also just noticed that I think it looked better. Also, DirectX 12 worked, which was key.
Yeah,
I
did update my driver since the last beta, so that might have been part of it too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and then I realized dude, this game comes out in 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't want to play the intro for the third time or whatever.
It reminded me how good the Division was. The Division was fantastic.
It was funny. I almost loaded up the Division again, and I was like, wait, what am I doing? I don't want to play the Division now. The second one comes out in 2 weeks.
So you're also getting
to play this.
You're also getting this game with your video card purchases, weren't you?
Hell yeah.
So you don't have a code for it yet. You don't have it in there.
No.
I guess they send it to you later.
It's like a thing where you log into it. You create an account, and then you log into that account, and then you link your Steam account to it, and then when the game releases, you got to log in there, and then it unlocks it to your Steam account. It's kind of wild actually.
Yeah.
You don't even get a code. It's not even here's your code for the game. It actually you go in and you say unlock on Steam or whatever, and it actually
you have an AD card and
it actually freaking unlocks on your Steam account.
That's funny.
So it's a pretty interesting thing, but I'm excited. That game I'm really.
So is that just the normal version? You don't get the 3-day early version?
That's the bummer. Technically, I've got it pre-ordered, as I'm air quoting, because I know I'm going to get it, but I don't think I'm going to get it early because I don't think it's going to unlock early. And I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I will. To be fair, I did get I did get a code for the very first beta that they did, like the VIP or the whatever they called theirs. I want to call it their VIP beta, but it was like the first beta that they did that was like not open to everybody.
Yeah, the VIP, then the open, the closed, open, the super special beta.
So like I did get a code for that. So like I don't know. So maybe I will. We'll see. So
yeah, that's gonna be, I guess, right before we both go on holidays.
I know.
After our next show and before we go on holidays.
I know. I'm like,
yeah, everyone knows.
It comes out. What is it, like the 15th?
Yeah, not
I
this
leave on
Friday,
the
but next Friday.
So I'll get one weekend in because I leave on the 22nd.
I think I'll get a day in.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's funny.
Because I leave on the Sunday.
Oh, okay. We might be off a week. I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I leave on the 22nd and I'm back on the 31st.
Oh, so yeah, we were off opposite weeks. We thought we were off the same week.
Yeah, we did. I thought we were, but no.
Uh-oh. We need to pre-record something, Dane.
Oh, jeez.
Might need to find substitute hosts. Or just cancel the show altogether.
Nah. Don't be ridiculous.
Okay, moving along. Pew, 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 pew. This week in Destiny.
Season of the Drifter.
Sneak that shit in there, mother effers. So, Destiny 2, new content has dropped. The Season of the Drifter, as Dane has alluded to.
And then?
So, they've added a couple new game modes. And in the style of the new Destiny expansions, there isn't per se a new area and new campaign missions that you finish in an hour and then everyone goes, what WTF, mate?
That was awful. Why did we bother?
It's rolling out exotic quests, new modes, different tiers of the existing modes, new features, yada yada, over the next few weeks. I guess it's technically the next 3 months. They have outlined... what are you doing?
Just keep talking.
Okay. They've outlined their content, which we're not going to go over because we know how much you all love Destiny 2.
Are you still playing this game?
What's that?
Are you still playing this game?
Yeah, I'm still playing it with both of my brother-in-laws, in fact, last night.
Yeah, I know. I actually played it on the weekend with you and one of your brother-in-laws. Go figure.
We ran through a Nightfall. That's right. I forgot.
I had to do a Nightfall to finish off a quest so that we could get our cool weapon skin and finish off the thing.
So, Season of the Drifter, it's all about Gambit. Gambit Prime is a new version of Gambit. It's a little modified.
Is it Prime?
It's Prime. Optimus all the way. And it's one round, winner takes all, but it's a little different in that they've kind of constructed roles for... You could play roles with different armor sets you equip. So you have to unlock them, but I'll get into that. Basically, it's more intense. The enemies are tougher. If you weren't aware, Gambit is a PvP mode where there's a bank in the middle of the map. Enemies spawn in particular areas in waves, kind of like a horde mode. And as you kill enemies, they drop motes, is what they're called. Whatever.
Motes.
You collect motes. Each character can carry up to 15. And then you bank them. When you bank them, almost like Tetris, instead of sending garbage blocks to the other team's side, it sends blockers, which of various tiers. There's small, medium, large blockers, depending on whether you deposit 5, 10, or 15 motes to the other team's map.
And when they have a blocker in place, which is a big enemy that they have to kill, they can't put their motes in.
No. And also
so
in
it
Gambit,
essentially stops them from putting motes in, and it makes them have to kill hard enemies.
Which, if your team is coordinating, you can send 2, 3 guys, 4 guys at a time over to the other side, and it can get pretty crazy.
Sucks because like if you're carrying moats and one of those blockers kills you, there it is. There goes your blockers. You
drop all your
there
moats.
goes your moats.
Or when your bank is blocked, that also gives an opportune time for this is where the PvP element comes in. At certain moments, there's a portal that opens, and you can invade the other team's map. Only one guy can invade, and he can actually see the other enemies on the map, so he has a little bit of a visual aid to make him a little deadlier. And
he's also stronger. I mean, like when you invade, you're like stronger and you're kind of like buffed up.
I don't know if you're stronger.
Yeah, you're buffed up, man.
Okay,
you're totally buffed up.
Maybe that's why I've been able to kill entire teams.
And you're harder to like. It's definitely harder to kill.
Obviously, you invade and you can tell how many moats enemies are holding. So you're gonna go after guys, screwing them over, holding lots of moats, and impede their progress. But the new thing with Gambit Prime is, besides nothing's changed with the invading, is the blockers can drain the team's bank. So if they don't deal with the blockers, they start draining moats. So then your moat bank total can go backwards.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's brutal.
So you got to deal with the blockers.
So you got to have guys out there killing enemies to capture moats. You got to have guys taking care of the bank at the back end, and you got to try not to get your ass killed by the dudes that are invading.
And then
you got to try and put your moats in the bank.
Yeah, and then when you fill the bank, a primeval appears, which is like a big ass boss, super powerful. But guess what? You can't damage him. He has a shield. So now you have to go seek out higher tier enemies that randomly pop up on the stage, kill them, and then a bigger guy pops up, kill him, and then there's like this buff that appears, and then the shield drops on the primeval, and then you can do like a damage phase, almost kind of like coordinating like a raid boss like type experience.
This sounds intense.
Yeah, it requires more coordination than regular Gambit.
I mean, regular Gambit can
suck if you guys are totally stupid, but you can fumble your way through Gambit and win. This, you can't fumble your way through it and win.
Wow.
And it's pretty high stakes. There's only one round, right? So you lose.
But I guess that makes sense because it's longer now, like quite a bit longer.
Drifter sends you on these, gives you some bounties that, you get some to introduce you to this mode, and then you get some new item. And you get this thing that there's these, depending on the kind of actions you take during the Gambit Prime match, there's these little tokens that drop. I can't remember their exact name, but they drop depending on the kind of playstyle you're doing, whether you're invading, whether you're protecting the bank, whether you're collecting moats, or whether you're like just killing enemies in general to,
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, go do this new thing called Reckoning. So after you you start in Gambit Prime, you go to Reckoning. And Reckoning there's this like new item you have, and you can wager different types of moats, which kind of represent the 4 different kind of classes per se for the Gambit Prime mode.
Okay.
And you wager one of these moats, and then you go into this different type of horde mode, which is strictly PvE. And you got to kill a bunch of enemies, like tons of enemies. It's a super like horde mode.
Right.
It's really fun.
How many still
it's still a fire team of I think
5,
it's 4 of you.
4, okay.
And then kill a bunch of guys within a certain amount of time. If you don't do ad control, it gets pretty crazy. It's pretty big death timer penalties, and then a big ass boss spawns. Do it all within time. Depending on what kind of moat you wagered and the quality of the moat you wagered, you get a gear drop. So you can essentially keep doing this event over and over and keep waging moats. So we did it like 4 or 5 times. So I got a full armor set of the new armor sets, which gives me boosts to playing Sentry, which is guy who basically protects the bank. So then you get these perks and buffs depending on the armor set that you're wearing. And it's a neat, fun mode. Like the Reckoning mode's really cool. So this is tier 1, and then there's going to be tier 2, tier 3, as well as other stuff that opens up over the next coming weeks. So it's kind of neat. I had fun with it. So
Okay.
it's a neat mode. It's a cool mode. I don't know. Horde modes are fun, especially when they're done well.
It sounds. I mean, like it's interesting to see them moving forward and whatnot.
And
I'll be curious to see like how much of that is locked behind whether or not you're a season pass holder.
All of it.
So like, because like I'm not, right. So
Yeah,
like I can still go play Gambit, but everything like I can't go play Gambit
No,
Prime.
I
I
don't
can't
think
go
any of
play
it
any of that
is.
stuff.
No.
Okay.
Because
No, that's fair.
Because it's part of the season pass stuff. So, but if you were not up to light level, they did create a few bounties that will like fast track you to like 640 power.
Oh, that's
so
helpful.
Yeah, you could play like, I don't know if it's an hour or two, and boom, you're at like almost max light level.
That would be helpful because
So-
I'm still floundering at like 550 or something.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
bounties will get you up to 640, but then
Word.
then you'd have to buy the season pass. So
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, so that's it. There's more. I'm sure we'll talk about it in the weeks
Oh
to
yes,
come.
the more you play, I'm sure we'll hear lots.
Thorns
more about
coming.
Destiny 2.
Thorns coming. That was a fun weapon from Destiny 1.
Yeah. Season of the Drifter.
Yeah, that's about it. Let's get into some news and stuff. The news.
Nurse.
Hey, Dane.
Yo.
Remember when I told you about Apex Legends like a year ago? But you're like, whatever.
I was like, yeah, fuck that shit. Don't come rolling in here with that. No.
So
you know what I want?
So apparently, well,
Titanfall
not apparently.
3,
This
Titanfall 3. That's what I want.
this freaking happened.
Really?
So this story's from Polygon that I'll be quoting loosely,
All right.
but it was everywhere. Apex Legends leaked a year ago, but no one believed it. Apparently, I think PC Gamer might have been the originator of this story, but on Reddit, Titanfall, 11 months ago, this dude by the name of Hit Iconic posted a thread, and he's like, alleged minimap for rumored Titanfall Battle Royale game. This is like a year ago on the Titanfall.
Yeah, and it's
Reddit.
got like a bunch of stuff on here.
It basically has the map of the game. You know, there's been some changes, but
yeah,
it's pretty identical. I think the thread got like 14 comments and pretty much went recognized. So no idea who this guy is. He hasn't admitted to how he got this information or anything. Who knows? He could like work there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it could have been a leak. I don't know. But then, of course, after
Continue.
What's that?
Continue, sir.
After the fact, this thread like blew up to like 57,000 upvotes and like thousands of comments. And it's apparently the community manager for Titanfall or Respawn was like, oh, I remember seeing this post, and was just like, whew, sigh of relief seeing that everyone blew it off and no one thought it was real.
Was real.
And then he said he was thinking, he's like, oh, it's gonna be funny because next year he's gonna be able to say, I fucking told you, assholes.
Speaking of leaks, this isn't really on our news, but I had a little birdie of my own this week who reached out and told me, and we'll find out whether or not it comes true or not, but he reached out to me and he said that he has qualifying information that Overwatch 2 will be coming out next year.
Nothing about an announcement window.
Nope. He just said that he just had it confirmed with him, and he reached out to me and said Overwatch 2 happening next year. So we'll find out whether or not it's true, but if it is, hey, you heard it here first.
That's interesting. It seems like an obvious. I don't know if they would go in Overwatch 2 or Season 2 or 3 or 4. I don't even know how the heck they do their shit right now, so that seems like an obvious, but
that's, like I said, that's just what I was told. Overwatch 2 next year.
yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, it's kind of weird because they've just been adding characters and maps, so you just maybe in Overwatch, maybe they've been dwindling like player base, so they're like, oh, we gotta do something drastic, so
yeah, I don't know.
Overwatch 2 would be something drastic.
like I said, we'll find
I know
out.
the scene's been kind of getting a little stale there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Overwatch
I mean,
League's
like,
been pretty decent, but I think there's so much competition now.
Yeah, I mean, especially with, I mean, who knows? Maybe Overwatch 2 will be a Battle Royale game.
Overwatch is a fantastic game, but man, I suck at it.
It's a lot of fun to play, though, even when I suck at it.
It is fun, but we played it for a bit, and then it gets frustrating because it's so competitive.
Like I said, maybe it'll be a Battle Royale game.
Speaking of Apex Legends, still,
Yes.
They topped 50 million players in their first month.
Has it even been out a full month yet?
I don't know. I think so now. I think it has to be out a month for them to say a month.
Wow. Because I thought when this thing came out, I thought it said in less than a month, but that they hit 50 million players
In first
less than
month,
a month. But
I guess it is less than a month.
Wow.
I don't know what day it came out.
that's insane. Either way, that's crazy. 50 million players in a month.
Does it say their concurrence here? But if it's first day, 200.
The game recently hit a new concurrent player record with 7.6 million players online 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Without any particular reason or event to encourage the wave. This article comes from Polygon. Going on about more or less just like you said, tops 50 million players.
That's a lot of
Some of the
players.
some of the crazy stuff is like, I don't know if it gets into it here, but they gave away some of the other stuff in their initial tweet, where they went into like how many there was like over 11 billion pings and how many players had died and on and so forth. And some of that stuff was really interesting.
Also, to be noted, it's only on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It's not on mobile.
It's on the Switch and it's not on mobile yet.
Which
I don't know if it will be or not, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I wonder. This is it's not Frostbite. It's probably the same Titanfall engine, which is like a super steroid version of the Source engine, right? Is that right?
I actually don't. Is Apex Legends running on Frostbite?
I don't know.
I thought it was. I'm 99.9% sure that it's running on the same engine that
I don't think it's
Titanfall is.
No, I don't think it's Frostbite. I think it's the Titanfall engine. But isn't the Titanfall engine like?
It's the Source
Is it
engine.
Source?
It's a heavily modified Source engine.
Yeah. I wonder
which is crazy when you think about it.
I wonder how that would work on mobile.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not, because Fortnite and PUBG, which Fortnite borrowed from heavily, is the Epic engine. poor PUBG.
Yeah,
which they're still like, don't get me wrong, they're still doing fantastic. I would freaking love to be in the shoes of the person who owns freaking PUBG. I'd be a very happy man.
Yeah.
Because speaking of Fortnite now has a ping system just like Apex Legends. Hey, wow, look at that! The fastest evolving aping game mechanic system game.
Not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
You know what? It's like Z targeting.
It's so
it's one of these new mechanics that should be in every game, and it's amazing.
I wonder if DICE feels like real idiots right now for removing the ping for every player,
because they kind of had the
Battlefield
system,
V.
right?
Yeah, they had a spotting system, right? Like you could spot like tanks.
See,
and
I never
people,
really
and
played that game to the depth to notice it, because it's so obviously part of the like training setup of Apex Legends to like teach you it, right?
Yeah, but that's the crazy thing is in Battlefield V, they removed it for everybody except for the sniper class. The recon class is the only class that can ping now.
Yeah, that seems so dumb. Like, if you see an enemy in real life, you can yell it out. Oh, I can't yell it out. I'm not a captain.
So stupid. Anyways, yeah.
So yeah.
I bet somebody over there is just shaking their head, going like, "We were dumb."
I just think it's funny that. Well, it's not funny. It's obvious, but hey, Fortnite borrowing.
Yeah,
form of flattery.
It's just smart, man.
Yeah, it's going to be in more games. I still
I'm not
won't
gonna
play.
lie. Their season 8 for Fortnite is all pirate themed, and it kind of makes me want to go play it because it kind of looks awesome.
I will not play Fortnite. I'm done with Fortnite.
Neither will I. I'm just saying it kind of looks cool. That's all. So
hey, Dead or Alive 6. I think is it out
that's
already?
a game that's coming out.
Is it out already or coming out soon?
I believe it's coming out soon. I don't know when it actually releases.
Well, they got a season pass.
Yep.
For the bargain basement value price of $93 for 2 characters
and 62 costumes.
Yes, with hundreds of boobs. Fully visible because they're probably all like skinny flaunty outfits.
There's not going to be any boobs visible because actually that's not entirely true. The boobs will be visible, the nipples will not, because of course not. But that seems very expensive for something like this.
That's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, I'm assuming that they're obviously going to cut this back into various other, like, you can buy piecemeal.
Dead or Alive 6 is already out. Came out March 1st.
There you go.
6 out of 10 on Steam, 7.7 on IGN.com. We played some of the Dead or Alive games back in the day. They were kind of fun.
I played a bunch of them. They always played really well.
A little bit of paper, rock, scissors with the counter system they had going.
Totally.
Wasn't bad. Definitely, they had no issues with the scantily clad fighters.
Was it Dead or Alive 2 or 3 that was the one that launched with or very close to the Xbox One? Or, sorry, the Xbox 360?
I think it was Dead or Alive 3.
I think...
Or
I can't remember. Anyways,
the Xbox, the first Xbox.
No, I'm thinking of the Xbox 360 because I had Dead or Alive, I believe it was 3 when the Xbox 360 came out. That was one of the first games that I picked up for it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's way too expensive for skins and 2 characters. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean...
Sorry, I have to apologize for this next story. I forgot to drop it when we were doing our Destiny conversation. Zera's going to start selling Forsaken Exotics, so that's the end of that. So if you know what that means, yay.
That's after March 5th.
Yeah, so starting this week, he'll start selling Forsaken Exotics, which is good.
Sweet. It's good for me trying to finish off my exotic collection.
Mm-hmm. Remember Respawn's Star Wars game?
Yeah,
that they casually talked about during EA Play last year, during E3.
Well, they gave a name last year. They didn't really talk about it at all. All they said was this was that it was a name and that we'd find out more later.
KOTOR 2 Fallout New Vegas writer designer is working on it. So,
okay,
that I guess was revealed. Chris Avallone revealed that he's just finished writing the soon to be revealed Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So, that makes people really excited. If you weren't already excited about a Respawn designed Star Wars game, Respawn has proven that they can make awesome freaking games. Titanfall 1, 2, Apex Legends, and now this with a writer from KOTOR 2. I don't know.
Fallout 2, Fallout New Vegas.
Knights of the Old Republic 1, 2. I think 1 people might hold up a little higher. But Fallout New Vegas is pretty awesome. That's a fantastic Fallout game. So that's great. That's good news. I'm excited. I assume that this is going to get a proper reveal at E3. It seems pretty obvious.
So word in the same tweet that he dropped he said somebody asked him, what games are you writing for currently besides Dying Light 2? And he said his response was, I can't say 100% because of NDAs, but the ones I can say, I just finished up work with Jedi: The Fallen Order, and beyond that, there's another big bomb dropping in a month. Maybe. And apparently, according to PC Gamer, it looks like the big bomb that he's referring to could be the new game currently being teased by Paradox, believed to be a new Vampire the Masquerade project. Which, that would be fucking awesome. I would be very excited about that. That said, who knows?
I guess we'll learn about it soon enough.
Yeah. So.
So this next story comes from VG247. Last couple stories are from IGN. This is Gearbox, Gearbox and all the awesome stuff that's happened recently that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Maybe
they're in a weird spot, that's for sure.
Maybe to distract everyone from all the nonsensical news that's been going on there. They
announced that they're going to have a PAX East panel.
Yeah, they have a PAX East panel, and they always have PAX Prime West East panels.
They didn't have one last year.
Oh yeah, well they didn't have anything to talk about, and everyone's sick of Randy's magic jokes. Watch this ball disappear. Anyway,
oh boy.
They're teasing a big surprise at PAX. So everyone's pretty much like, it's got to be Borderlands 3, among other surprises. So
the panel will take place March 28th. Apparently the description reads, "This is your opportunity to get a behind-the-scenes look at Gearbox Software and Gearbox Publishing, along with the latest news and updates from the makers of Borderlands, Battleborn, Brothers in Arms, and more. We will have never-before-seen reveals, exclusives, and surprises, so don't miss out."
That's cool.
So there you go.
I'm excited for Borderlands 3. I really liked Borderlands 2. I didn't care so much.
At least Johnny V will be there now.
What's that?
Johnny V will be there now.
I did not know that.
Because he heads up their publishing now. When he left
Disney,
he's now heading up Gearbox Publishing now.
I didn't know that.
So John Vignacchi. So
yeah, that'll be cool. I like Borderlands 2. I didn't care for the pre-sequel, and I think there was some other stupid one in between there. They're just, okay, that's more of the same. Borderlands 2 was quite huge, so I just didn't want more of the same. So
yeah,
it's been long enough. I'm ready. It'll be interesting to see if it's evolved or if it's stuck in the past.
Yeah.
They were the original
Schluter.
They were the original Ruder Schluter. Schluter tuber.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something about the way that game kind of like moved and stuff. I don't know. It just never really like clicked with me. There's some about Borderlands games. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the way that game. I don't know how to explain it. It was like I like the concept. I mean, I love, I play lots of other Schluters. But I just I don't know. There was just something about that game that just didn't. I played, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 hours of it, and then I just kind of fell off, and I don't know. Anyways, I look forward to finding out about a third one, and I hope that they make some changes. And
they would have to. There's been so much stuff that's changed.
I wonder if at this point they just announced that it's going to be a next-gen title or not, or it's going to be one of these weird like cross-gen title where they'll release like a PS4 Xbox One version and a PS5 Xbox 2 version or something.
I'm sure it'll be cross-gen. I don't think they could afford it to just be next-gen.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Not with how many systems are out and freaking the last few bombs they've had.
Yeah, that's true. Battleborn did not do well.
To be honest, with all the bad press and everything going on with Gearbox, Battleborn, shit in the bed.
I still haven't yet to figure out what the fuck Battleborn was.
If Borderlands 3 doesn't hit, I'm going to call it right now, and I'm not hoping for this to happen because I'm pretty positive they can make a successful, good Borderlands 3. But if for whatever reason it's just too little too late and it doesn't hit, I can see Gearbox being in very bad position, especially with all the nonsense at the top of that company. At the very least, I see Randy being out soon. If he doesn't deliver a hit with all the nonsense he's been through the last few months.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see
I don't
what
really
happens.
think if I was
that or
Take-Two,
somebody else just comes in and buys
right?
them. Well, no, they're actually independent. A lot of their publishing deals were with Take-Two.
Yeah.
But now that they've got their own publishing arm, I don't know if that's going to be the case or if they're going to try and self-publish moving forward.
Well, I guess
because what was it? We Are the Happy Few or whatever, that was published by them. So, yeah.
Time will tell. I'm excited for Borderlands 3. So, yeah, apparently, even Sonic's creator isn't too happy with the leaks of this new Sonic from the Sonic movie that's appeared online. And most of the internet's not very happy with it either. So if you weren't aware...
I won't lie, it looks weird.
There is a Sonic movie that's been in development for a while, to be honest.
It's been filmed, man. That shit's coming out.
A bunch of it's been filmed in our backyards on the mainland and on the island here. They did apparently a big action sequence here.
I actually have a very good friend of mine that was heavily involved in that.
CG Sonic with
live action
thing. I don't know. I neither love nor hate. I just think it looks weird.
I agree with that. It's interesting because there has been some people that have taken to the internet to quote unquote fix what they felt was wrong with it. Because this was what this essentially was like an ad agency that had, it's all the stuff that they got given to come up with an ad campaign. So it's kind of like, this is the character, this is some of the stuff that's in here, sort of talking about the personality, kind of okay, these are all things that you can do to help us create an ad campaign, essentially, right? And this all leaked. That's what we're discussing here. It's got brand, personality, kind of what about the character. It's obviously got what he looks like. There's some shots of what the character is supposed to look like, things like that. So, but what's really interesting is the people that have gone online and said he doesn't look quite right. I think this is what he should look like, and they've made changes to him. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks a lot better.
I don't think it looks better or worse either or. I just think it looks weird with the fur texture. I don't know. I don't think the eyes. Yeah. I don't think the eyes are the problem. I think it's just the weird body.
I honestly do. I didn't think it initially, and then when I saw the side by side, so somebody has gone and made the eyes bigger and kind of made it a little bit more what we think of as Sonic looking, I think, and side by side with the one that they're looking at.
I think they both look bad. Because you can see his body, but if you look at the image at the bottom, which is the original image where you don't see his legs and anything from his chest down, I don't think it looks terrible. I think it looks just... I got to see it in motion and hear it, and that'll be...
Totally, yes.
That'll be the death knell. If he sounds like an idiot and the CG is cheap and he doesn't animate well, then that's the death knell right there.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
I don't love it. It's not okay, Detective Pikachu.
Unfortunately, I feel like this was maybe not ideal for that movie. For this to get out there, and now people are, because I feel like this movie was already going to have a hard time.
Oh, of course it was, because Sonic sucks.
And now having this out there, I don't feel like this is going to be yay, everybody's going to be wow, yeah, this looks great. We should totally go see that. If anything, the people that were kind of on the fence probably are going to see this and be maybe I'll skip this. That said, I do know that there is a ton of kids out there that still love Sonic, and he's big with them, and so this probably won't affect that either way.
Okay, you guys can freaking hate me now or unfollow me or whatever if you're a Sonic fan, but Sonic, I guess the animated character, and Sonic and Wreck-It Ralph, that voice and that character in Wreck-It Ralph. Do you remember that Sonic? I just saw
the first one.
Yeah, he's in the first one. If he's not in the first one, he's in the second one for sure.
I haven't seen the second.
He's in one of them.
But
either way, that Sonic. When I think of Sonic, that looks like Sonic, like the video game character. But I just feel like Sonic is this thing they just keep trying to force to try and make big like Mario. It's like your games are mediocre at best. You were the only thing Sega had to latch on to and force down everyone's throats. We got a mascot too. We're edgy and counter like Mario. Woohoo! Screw you, Nintendo. Sonic's kid, edgy.
Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles were great games. Like
they're good games. They're
like I said, when I was a kid at the time on my Genesis, those were great games. Yeah. I love the shit out of them.
They're
over time, unfortunately, they have not.
They don't hold up.
They have not been able to move that past what those games kind of
New
were.
Sonic stuff's
they
trash.
haven't been able to iterate on it. I think that the first Sonic Adventure game for Dreamcast wasn't terrible. And obviously that whole moment at the beginning of the game with the whale and everything, like that was fucking crazy. I remember seeing that and it blew my mind.
Yeah, and then after that,
unfortunately, the rest of the game was
unplayable and was just like bad.
The rest of the game was not up to that.
Anyway, we're getting off track here.
Either way, go check it out. It looks weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think it looks terrible, but I don't think it looks good either. It's just like I don't know until I see it in motion. And again, I don't want it to, but I'm just going to call it now. This movie's going to bomb. No offense. Sorry for everyone working on it. It's just a battle that I don't think anyone could win.
Yeah.
Unless maybe the guys who did Castlevania on Netflix did it.
Oh, man. If that,
Moving along.
I honestly think this should have been just an animated movie.
Absolutely.
Trying to make it live action is just what
should have been
fuck,
like a CG, like aimed at kids, and it would have been
totally,
and it would have done well. But I think live action was just a mistake. Nintendo news: Tetris 99 is having its first tournament this weekend, and with real world rewards. Well, not necessarily real world rewards. Apparently this is this in Europe? No, it's also, I think, in the UK. This story is from Eurogamer, so it's got a UK spin on it. I believe it's in North America as well.
Okay.
The top 999 players will, in the North America, I saw it was a $10 eShop code. And if you're in Europe, apparently it's like 999 My Nintendo Gold points, which I think equates to $10 in whatever local European country's currency may be. So how do you win? You just keep playing from 1 p.m. on March 8th until 7 a.m. on March 11th. I think those are the same times for US, maybe. So what does it say here? In Europe, 999 prizes are doled out to random players who've recorded a win. So, or fewer people. Anyway. And then in the U.S., it's the top 99 players with the most wins will be rewarded. Okay, so it's a little different between the two regions. So they did have that info here.
Interesting.
That's neat for a free-to-play game. Maybe you might get $10 in your eShop account.
Sweet.
That's kind of cool. Didn't see that coming.
I mean, I
thought the story was a little neat because we've been talking about douchebaggery at companies a lot lately. The CEOs and executives and stock markets and greedy MOFers. Nintendo reportedly adjusts smartphone games to make players spend less money. This story from IGN.com. Again, this story.
I've always thought that Nintendo didn't like money.
This has been everywhere. I think Wall Street Journal is where this started. Apparently,
Nintendo is concerned about being seen as greedy by consumers and is actively telling its partners, including DNA and CyberAgent, to adjust games so that players don't spend too much.
Now, they see their games as tools to get people to look into their other games and systems, not so much as money generating,
making machines themselves.
Especially, they're kind of concerned with seeing some players spending too much money. They're like, no, we don't want that. Apparently, I was reading another story that they were like taking steps to limit how much money people could even spend. So there might be like, I haven't seen any stories of that yet, but I wonder if they're doing like some kind of cooldown mechanic for people who might be like rifling in too much money for like the Fire Emblem characters or the Dragalia Lost
apparently
characters.
Apparently Dragalia Lost developer Cyber Agent was asked to change the game's odds of earning rare characters following player complaints. And they replied, Nintendo is not interested in making a large amount of revenue from a single smartphone game, a Cyber Agent employee told the Wall Street Journal. If we managed the game alone, we would have made a lot more. Cyber Agent recently cut its earnings forecast for the first time in 17 years due to unexpectedly low revenue per player in Dragalia Lost.
Because they were trying to be mobile douchebag companies. Props to Nintendo. Yeah. You could still waste a lot of stupid money on dumb DLC in these games, don't get me wrong. Just like, I've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes for a long time, and to be honest, I haven't spent a dime on it. And I have tons of 5-star characters and like awesome like teams, and
I have installed Dragalia Lost, and I have played. First of all, the download the install is huge. Yeah. It's like 1.4 gigs,
and then you got to download more like every level.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. I actually went into you can go into the settings. You can download everything, which is what I did. But
I didn't know that.
That said, like I don't know. Like I keep seeing it on my phone, and I just don't have. I don't know. I need to like sit down and play a bit more of it. I don't know. It's like a total. Is that what you would call a gacha game? I don't know. Like totally they definitely like you log in and like
you get rewards,
you get characters,
super like
and
loot boxy to get new characters.
Yeah, totally. Like you get a random character or whatever, and then you can add them to your party. And when you get, you can use the
girl
star level characters,
super anime, like kind of sexy, kind of innocent. Like, ooh, you want to unlock them and spend money. Woo.
Yes, there are some of those. So far, the story is kind of interesting.
I just think it's cool that they're just not like dial it up to maximum douchebag level.
I appreciate that.
Like, I think that's fantastic.
Hell, I wish more companies would get on board with that.
But I guess other companies aren't Nintendo and making bank elsewhere. Speaking of phones...
And like I said, Nintendo doesn't seem to like money anyways.
They're making tons. See, they kind of know the line of like, we don't have to have all the money in the world. We've got lots already.
Yeah, that's true.
Something refreshing with that outlook on business.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's why Nintendo...
Sometimes enough is enough, right?
Maybe why Nintendo is beloved. Unlike so many other companies. Speaking of phones, I got my replacement phone.
Oh.
Kind of unrelated, right? But if you guys tuned in a few weeks ago, I had issues with my Pixel 3 I had to send in for warranty. And as expected, they just sent me a new phone. Like, there's no repairing the camera on a phone, so pretty sweet.
Right.
Got a brand new phone. Semi in 100% operating order. Everything's reinstalled, but it's like, I got to log into everything again because you haven't used it on this phone or device. And
two-factor, baby.
Remove stuff from my other device. Remove my other device from my Google, so forth. Anyway, man, I missed my. I was like, for a little bit there, I had the sealed box. Like, I could maybe sell it and get an S10, and I'm like, what for? Let this even. I could get like full pop for it because it was brand new. So, but I'd still have to pay like, even if I got a good amount for my Pixel, I'd still have to pay like probably $900 extra to get a S10.
Nope.
Yeah, it's like $1,500 plus tax, right? Then I think the Pixel 3 is brand new right now on sale for like $800.
That's insane.
So, like, I'd be lucky if I could have sold it for $800, which is still really good because that's more than what I paid for it. But either way,
wow,
it's like, yeah, the S10 looks cool, but it just, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the dope ass camera and phone already.
Yeah.
Moving along. This was announced today, this evening actually. Nintendo has announced a new VR kit.
This is so weird.
This story from IGN, but also, to be honest, I got this in my inbox press release from Nintendo. Basically, Nintendo news. Labo Kit introduces the new VR gaming experience. Basically, there's a couple kits. I think the full kit's $80 US.
Yep.
And they have a smaller, slimmed down starter set, which you can get, and then you can pick and choose expansions for it. There's like a blaster, some kind of animals, a little head strap thing for strapping the Switch to your head.
The Switch is so low resolution.
Hey,
this sounds like a terrible idea. Like, makes my head hurt sometimes with like.
Man, it's kind of. There was rumors.
720p.
There was rumors of this.
That close to your eyeball. I was like, oh man.
So April 12th, I guess, is when it comes out. That'd be interesting to see in action. I might have to reach out to Nintendo, and they probably won't send me one, but pretty sure I can afford to go buy some cardboard. This is a type of version of Labo that does make me interested in checking it out.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it
might be fun just to see what Nintendo's
I'd
weird,
be super
freaky
curious.
idea of VR.
I'd be super curious to find out like what that thing is like.
Oh, it's going to be super low texture, right? Obviously.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. Like I'm just thinking like what kind of experience? Like because I know that the original dev kits for the Oculus that was 720p, but that was 720p per eye. It wasn't the whole screen, right? Like so that's kind of why I was like, man. So yeah. Anyway,
the VR kit is 99 Canadian. I'm looking at the press release here. The complete Nintendo Labo VR kit includes the Nintendo Switch software and materials to build all 6 Toy-Con projects. The Toy-Con VR goggles, Toy-Con blaster, Toy-Con camera, Toy-Con bird, Toy-Con wind pedal, and Toy-Con elephant, as well as a screen holder and safety cap. It's a good option for kids and families who want to dive in for the full experience. And then, of course, there's a starter set, which includes the blaster, and then they break out the gun, the elephant, and the camera, and the wind pedal and bird. Is there a link to like a video? I'm just trying to see like if they have any kind of video. I see a bunch of pictures of stuff strapped to people's heads.
Like switches, you mean?
Well, like these weird goggles and camera and a bird and like looks like this kid's got a bazooka to his head. I assume the Switch is inside of it.
Super Scope, baby. Super Scope 2.0.
Yeah, it literally looks almost like a Super Scope. Yeah, I don't think
that's what they should be releasing. New Super Scope.
I guess you can't really demonstrate it. I don't know. Maybe it's just announced.
You got to play it to believe it, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways, moving on. Nintendo released a VR Labo kit.
There was rumors of this. That's the funny thing. And everyone's like, what now? Like, there was rumors of Nintendo dabbling in VR like a year or two ago. So I guess, those rumors are true. PlayStation news. Horizon Zero Dawn celebrates its 2nd anniversary. Shares the fact that 10 million copies have been sold worldwide.
That's pretty good for a brand new franchise, man.
It's fantastic. Also, Horizon's a freaking awesome game. So if you haven't played it and you have a PS4, that's a game worth playing.
Should do that,
Brian. I don't know. He might have played. He might have played it already.
No, he definitely hasn't. It's on his pile of shame.
Just making fun of one of our listeners. Sorry, bud.
I can't talk. I've started that game and I
idiot.
Kind of. You know what? It came out freaking
when the Switch came
2 weeks before Breath. Yeah, exactly. And I got sucked up into the launch of the Switch, and then I was playing Breath of the Wild, and those two games were so freaking similar to one another. And anyways. Moving on. I will almost with it selling that many, I would almost guarantee we'll see a Zero Dawn or Horizon 2.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what they're working on right now. I did beat that game, so rest in peace, PlayStation Vita. Sony has officially ended production. We knew this was coming.
Yeah, it's true.
But
they'd already ended production of the physical media of the games, like, last year sometime?
No, I think that's this year still.
No. In 2018, they ended the production of the physical media games for the device.
Oh, well, there were still cartridges available, though, coming out.
Yeah, no, they just weren't making any new ones. They were still, like, selling games for the system digitally and stuff. But as far as, like, if you were like, oh, I'm going to make a Switch game and I want to release it on an actual media card or whatever it was, they were no longer.
You said Switch, but you meant Vita.
Vita, sorry.
I think there's still physical retail games coming out because there's a supply out there, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, if you want a Vita, go get one. Do I recommend getting a Vita? Probably not. Switch is a better version of the Vita. Plus,
I like my Vita though.
Vita is great.
It's such a nice size.
Nice,
like that's the one thing. Like
it
is
your hands. It's not comfortable. It's too small.
I run into a similar problem on the Switch too.
I can play the Switch for hours with no issues. And it's a perfect size screen. You don't have to squint. It's just right. Switch is almost the perfect handheld. There's a couple things that can make better, but it's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Nintendo, cribbed from the Vita and made the Switch.
Yeah. It was a bit of a shame that the Switch, like Sony, it was always this weird stepchild with Sony with the Vita. And I think their handhelds in general, I've always felt like a kind of a strange sort of stepchild-like thing where they would support them, but then they wouldn't, and they always kind of held them at this
PSP
weird
was
arm
the exact same thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I feel like Sony has always missed the point of their handhelds, like trying to release these big games,
and that's not what people want mobily.
Yeah, like on the go. Yeah, exactly.
Not when you have to sacrifice so much of the quality of the game for it to be portable.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So, well, I still have my Vita.
Yeah, so hey, didn't I just play?
I'll keep it around for a while.
Chasm on the Vita recently. What else did I play on the Vita? Didn't I play something else recently on the Vita?
That said, it is a bit of. Let's see. It is a bit hard to kind of in a weird way play now. It definitely does seem like it's old, which it is, I guess. I kind of forget how old that stupid thing was.
Mm-hmm. It sucks it didn't get the support it deserved.
Because it launched in North America in 2012.
Yeah,
that's a long time ago.
PS3 era, right?
Yeah,
it is old Sony.
It's a long time ago. Yeah,
I doubt we'll see. I don't think we'll see a Vita.
No, I don't think we'll probably see another handheld. I think they've kind of had better success with their PSVR and stuff. So.
Speaking of, since we're still in Sony news, Anthem has a patch coming out next week to fix PS4 crashes. The story yesterday was Anthem bricking PS4s, and of course now that the internet's calmed the F down a little bit,
no consoles were bricked due to crash bugs.
Well,
it was in fact hard crashing consoles.
And it still is. People have seen people on Twitter complain of it happening lots. I don't play it on PS4, so obviously I have no idea. I've had it crash my PC, but
I have not had it do that.
Actually, that was the beta that crashed my PC. The retail version, I don't think it's crashed my PC, or the demo. Sorry.
I don't believe that I've had a single hard crash to the desktop or
I had one during
anything
the demo.
like that in the during the actual game though. I had,
and then I had the audio loss one where there was no audio for some freaking reason.
Yeah, I had that in the beta a couple times, but I haven't had it in the full game.
So anyway, BioWare has apparently identified the issue causing system crash, and they're going to roll out the patch next week.
March 12th is when that's expected.
Yesterday, though, the internet was on fire. Everyone's like, damn you, EA, damn you, BioWare, you're bricking systems. Obviously because of someone on Reddit saying, oh, my system won't turn on anymore. And I think that guy has got his system back to life. I don't know.
Yeah. Essentially a hard, Unplug the power, plug it back in, reboot the whole thing. You may have to pop it into safe mode, but essentially after you do a full...
The PS4, when it goes through a super hard crash, you have to rebuild the hard drive database or whatever.
Yeah. And once you do that, it pops back up. You get a similar error if, say, for example, your console's in sleep mode and you have a power outage.
I don't think I've ever had a super... I've had hard crashes on the Xbox, but I don't think it does anything like that. Or if it does, it does it in the background.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
That being said, you could have I could see a hard crash if you had a failing hard drive appear to brick your system if you're not very technically savvy and realize that the hard drive's just freaking died. Because, remember when my PS4's hard drive died? You would think if you didn't know anything about hardware that your system was bricked.
Yeah, that's true.
And all I did, boom, new hard drive. Thanks for your no help, fucking Sony. That deserved an F word. In case you guys weren't around for that story, I had a PS4 Pro 5 million limited special super crazy stupid system. One day I went to go turn it on. It made a bunch of clicking noises. It didn't want to turn on. Turns out the hard drive was dead. The system was a month old. I call Sony. Hey, Moeffers, my hard drive died. Send me a hard drive. I'll send you the broken one. Them, no, you have to send a system. Me? No, I'm not sending you a system. It's a limited edition system. I'm going to send it to you. It's going to come back scratched, fucked up, or even worse, it ain't going to come back because I heard horror stories of people sending in systems to Sony and not even getting the same type of system back. So I'm like, fuck you. Found my own solution. Managed to get a hard drive. And F Sony and Western Digital both up the ISA. So... yeah. Anyway, I win. System working. It was just a hard drive.
Fair enough.
A fun story. When was that? September? October?
It was a bad weekend for you.
Oh, that was when I fucked up my PC too by plugging in the wrong cord and frying all my hard drives. Actually, not all. Half of them.
Yeah. Just the ones that were connected
on a plus
to the wrong cord.
On a plus side, those were all replaced by warranty. And I managed to repair that 2 terabyte ID drive or SATA drive by getting the board repaired in your neck of the woods. Yeah, $50 brought that, and that hard drive
learned a valuable lesson that day.
That hard drive's still running right now, perfectly fine.
Good,
and has been backed up. So if it does die now, I don't care.
Doubly good.
So yeah, I don't think I've put anything on that hard drive since, or I have, but nothing of value.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Not all power cables from power supplies can be interchanged. Lesson learned. They are not the same. They may look the same, but they're not the same.
No, they're unfortunately proprietary from one power supply to another.
I didn't realize that I grabbed a cable from the wrong, power supply or from a different brand. I didn't even know that was even a thing at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had a big blip there. Thank you, Skype, once again. But I kept talking, so.
Oh. Seemed fine on my end. Weird.
Yeah. Your video cut out. You could hear me, though.
Yeah. No, you were talking like you were fine the whole time.
Moving along.
Some Microsoft news this week.
Microsoft's diskless Xbox One S, reportedly called All Digital Edition, out in May. This story from Eurogamer again. This was surfaced elsewhere, like every freaking news story on the internet, because everyone just regurgitates everyone else's news, aka this podcast. But what? Word on a diskless Xbox surfaced last year, and
it's the dickless Xbox. I mean the diskless,
the dickless Xbox. Apparently, it's gonna be unveiled soon and out in May.
It makes sense. Pull the disc out, make a few changes, drop the price down. I don't know.
Remember when everyone was all pissy about the Xbox having a Blu-ray 4K DVD drive and giving shit to Sony about not having one? Oh yeah, that's right, because no one fucking uses optical drives. Except for people who are crazy and collect physical-only collections. You're not crazy. I take that back.
Does the Xbox One S have a 4K Blu-ray drive?
I think so.
I thought it was just the Xbox One X.
Shut up. I could be wrong. Either way, it has a Blu-ray drive.
So like my point is like, yeah, but my whole thing is like if you want, if you're a person that whatever, you have fast internet and you don't care about that, this is a great opportunity for you. That said, if you're a person that also has super fast internet and you don't care about that, chances are you'd probably buy an Xbox One X instead. But I don't know. Like I feel like there's a world for this. Like for the right person, I feel like this is
San
perfect.
Francisco, New York, LA, Seattle.
I live in a place I can get like fast internet. Yeah. I don't really care. Everything I'm going to buy is going to be digital anyways. I don't care about like the movie thing. All I ever do is like, I'm never going to buy physical media
at a sub $200 price tag. But I think Xbox One S's with drives have been $200 less on crazy sales.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like right now, I know like their $250 is the lowest US, like $250, but most of them are selling for $300 US.
To not be able to watch movies, like the convenience of having a movie player for $50. Well, it's just another option. Obviously, they're not replacing. They're not getting rid of other systems. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Why not?
Yeah,
if you can lower the price and lower barrier entry, as seen by things like Fortnite and Apex Legends, the lower the barrier to entry, the greater the returns can be.
This is a perfect thing where like they add in like 3 months of Game Pass or something like that as well. I mean, think about it. Like, here you go, right? You're getting this console. You got Game Pass. You can just download and play all these games. Like, I mean,
that's true.
Kind of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, that's true. If you're a Game Pass subscriber, the cheaper system, that's a year of Game Pass thrown in with this thing. Boom, Trojan horse, you're a subscriber in that ecosystem.
Totally, because you still got to put your credit card in order to, or whatever to
digital only.
In a year.
So, like disk drive doesn't affect you if you're a Game Pass subscriber.
No.
Public service announcements, don't got any.
Done got none this week.
Free for all. I've been watching Free for All. Free for All. I've been watching Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Man,
I'm 8 episodes in.
My wife and I were like looking at that, and like I was like, yeah, we should like watch
I've been hearing lots of people talk about it.
I know.
It's neat. I like it. I wouldn't say it's like freaking amazeballs.
No.
But
I heard it's good.
It's pretty good. I'm sure if I read the comics, I might have more affinity for it, or I don't know if that's the right word, but I might have stronger feelings for it. It's still unraveling. Okay. It's getting pretty, like, what's happening is pretty neat right now.
Okay, yeah. Do you know how many episodes there are? Was it like a 12 or a 13 episode season, or... You said you're at 8 episodes.
There's 10 episodes, I think. Sorry, I was having a sneeze fit.
Yep. Oh, he's not done yet.
And it's too violent for me to hit the mute button. I'm sorry, everyone. Ellen Page is in it. There's a couple other recognizable actors in it, but I don't know their names because I'm not an actor snob.
Okay.
But yeah, it's cool. It's like a merry band of like kind of superheroes. They've got powers, but I don't know, like there's only one guy's powers they really demonstrate often. I don't know if that's a budget thing or if they just haven't gotten there yet.
I have heard that like this had a fairly tight budget compared to a lot of other kind of quote unquote superhero films and movies and TV shows. So that could totally be part of it.
So yeah, anyway, I'm enjoying it. I'll have more to say when I finish it. If you're looking for something to watch, it definitely.
I'm super curious. Like I said, it's on my list right now. We haven't pulled the trigger on it.
Did I talk about something else on Netflix recently?
Probably. I may or may not have been listening. I just
finished watching something else on Netflix recently.
Oh, you were watching Russian Doll.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I wrapped that up. I like the way that ended. Put a smile on my face. It made me feel good about humanity.
That makes me happy, actually.
That was a neat movie. Neat series.
I'm like super like I said, I was like looking for things to watch with my wife the other day.
Your wife would probably
Umbrella
Your wife
Academy.
would probably like. Does your wife like comedies? It's like a dark comedy, but there's lots of comedy. And then once you get caught in the freaking Groundhog Day thing and the mystery of them trying to figure out what's going on in their lives, you get kind of hooked.
Oh, cool.
It's
we've been I started watching the Dragon Prince on Netflix.
I just started. I put that in my queue to watch,
and we're 4 episodes. We just watched episode 4 tonight.
I hear good things.
On first glance, it seems like kind of a kids show, but then as we were watching it, we're like, "Shit, this is like kind of not a kids show." Like it's so far, it's. Really
I hear
good.
It's good.
Really,
People
surprisingly cool. So so we're gonna keep watching that.
I think I'm gonna start watching that next. Maybe after that Flat Earther, maybe.
Yeah, that one we watched that. What is that? Under the Dome or whatever it's called.
You mentioned it on the Discord.
Oh man, what a fucking movie that is! Holy cow! Yeah, go check that out. That is wild.
Yeah.
It's something, that's for sure. Something.
I watched like 5 minutes of it. I'm like, okay, this is very intriguing.
It was interesting. There was moments where it was actually kind of hard to watch. You're just like, really? It's really good though, because like there's not a ton of commentary from like the filmmakers and stuff at all. Like they do a really good job of just kind of like letting the flat earthers talk and whatnot, and then they have obviously like kind of views from like actual like scientists and whatnot, and kind of, you know, explaining how this is a thing that is growing and how it, like the momentum and like why it's kind of happening, and it's really cool. Like I actually really like the way it kind of ended, and it's check it out. It's worth a watch, man. It's kind of wild in and of itself.
I bought tickets for Captain Marvel, so I'll be watching that this weekend. So we'll have words on that next week.
Awesome.
And
I forgot that was this weekend.
Yeah, that's about it, Dane. I think we have an episode 195 in the gigabits and in your ear holes.
I think you're right.
You can follow me on Twitter at RickF.
You can always come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Make sure to like, love, share, retweet, spread the joy of Geekoholics everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Did I say that already?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're Geekoholics on all the social medias. And then, of course, if you have an Apple device, please feel free to leave us a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or any service that I might not even be aware of. I just know for all intents and purposes of tracking and logarithms and growing shows, Apple seems to be the most important, even though, you know, questionable what you may or may not think about Apple products, whatever. That's a side note. But iTunes seems to dominate the podcast landscape, so if you have one of those devices and you can leave us a review, that would be fantastic. Or if not, just freaking sideload us, sneak us in, hack us into other people's devices, even better. And share with your friends, of course. Thanks for listening to us and being here this week. Until next week, I'm going to say we are out.
I got to go play some Schluters now.
Oh, God. Peace.